It's a large group from a travel point of view. A lot of these companies are obviously part of the travel setup, and they are all market leaders in their space also. And we work very closely with each of them because they are part of the same family. That's the brief on Thomas Cook. Now, obviously, last 18 months has been obviously life-changing for all of us. Every one of us here, I'm sure, has been affected in some form or the other. We have seen near and dear ones getting affected. Some of us have lost people who are close to us, and the entire world is still, understanding how to manage this. The travel industry has obviously been one of the most affected ones, and when the pandemic, or rather when we first understood it was a pandemic, obviously we went for lockdowns. A lot of countries closed borders to ensure that they try to control the spread of the pandemic. India was also one of them. We also closed our borders. In fact, we were one of the first ones, and the initial part was really well managed. We were able to control that. Then obviously after that, after the lockdowns came down, at the same time we also understood that COVID numbers are increasing. All of us, obviously we are all aware, right, what we have gone through. So till about June of 2020, right, from March till June or till end of June 2020, absolutely not much travel was happening. Borders were completely closed. So then the air bubble agreements came in, and then some movement of people started happening. From a holidays point of view, for families, from about July last year, families and people slowly started taking weekend getaways and staycations. Okay. So weekend getaways basically are only for 2 or 3 days, so they go for a resort close by. A lot of resorts and a lot of hotels across the country, especially, and right now I'm talking only about domestic because that's what started. So July and August last year, a lot of properties were actually going out of their way to ensure that safety measures are taken and all that. So from actually booked a hotel. In fact, Chennai le pathina, a lot of people booked a resort in Chennai itself. They are in Chennai, they went to a resort in Chennai, stayed there for 3 days, simply because people wanted a break. So they did that, they relaxed, came back. So this actually started the revival to some extent. This started. Then people slowly started taking a slightly longer holiday. To a large extent, till about September or October of last year, that was still restricted because a lot of states within India were still having restrictions about travel. Right? So Tamil Nadu will say this state, if they are coming in, we want to have a quarantine for them for a few days, or RT-PCR tests would be required. There were restrictions that were there. So that inter-state travel within India was still restricted. Then slowly things started opening up. International travel point of view, about last year, about October onwards, Maldives opened up because as a destination that actually has social distancing by default, because it is 600,000 islands, and each island is a resort, and within each resort, obviously, the rooms and cabins and cottages and villas are all socially distanced anyways, and people really took it up. And for them also, more than 95% of their GDP is based on tourism, so they also had to open up. So put together, it worked. So as a destination, Maldives really picked up, and then we had Dubai opening up. We also had South Africa and Kenya and some of these countries opening up for travel. Sri Lanka also opened up, I think, last December. So till February of 2021, there was a really decent amount of revival. Percentage terms compared to pre-pandemic, right? We were purely from whatever destinations were open, we would have been at about 20% for that period of time. Then obviously wave 2 hit us just when things were really starting to open, because by March we had more destinations available. We had Turkey, we had Egypt, we had Russia. A lot of countries were open for travel. March, obviously, we had wave 2 hit us. So that's what happened as a journey. Then again from July onwards, a lot of countries have opened this year. And as we speak, the great thing is almost every 2 weeks there are new countries that are opening up. Okay. So as of now, we have a variety of destinations open for travel. India, every single state is available. Okay. So there are absolutely no restrictions, no quarantine measures. You can travel within India anywhere. And hardly 1 or 2 states have some slight variations of some RT-PCR tests also, primarily based on, okay, in the state we need an RT-PCR test. That's about it. So that way, domestic tourism is really boomed. For Thomas Cook also, we actually, to be very honest, pre-pandemic, our domestic business was small, very small part of our overall holidays business, but we pivoted. And during the last year, we have really focused on it. So September 2021, for example, within our retail business, we have done about 3.2 times what we would have done in September 2019. So So that's the extent to which Thomas Cook has pivoted, and more importantly, that's the extent to which domestic tourism has really picked up in India. Okay. Because people have been habituated to traveling, they've been used to taking their usual holidays and family get-togethers, and now that international borders were broadly closed, and they also wanted that comfort, they've been booking a lot of domestic, a lot of us have been rediscovering our own country. So overall, last 1 year, domestic has really boomed. Main destinations that have sold are Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal, and Andaman. Okay, so these four are the main destinations that have really been looked forward to. People have been traveling to. Goa recently opened up about a couple of months back, or 1.5 months back, and Rajasthan, Gujarat continue to be destinations that are still moving well. So Kashmir, Ladakh, Andaman, Himachal have been really good for tourism. A lot of people have traveled. International point of view, over the last 4 months, we have seen a lot of countries open up. Okay. So Russia, Egypt, Turkey, Russia, Egypt and Maldives, these three were always open. They actually never closed their borders after the second wave. So from April end onwards itself, they've been open for Indians to travel. And people have been traveling. We ourselves have operated a lot of groups. People have traveled. Now, apart from those three, Europe opened up. So next to Southeast Asia, which is Singapore and Thailand especially, next to those two, Europe is India's largest destination market. So a lot of Indians travel there, and the great thing was Europe opened up. Switzerland was the first, which again for Indians is the most popular destination in Europe. Switzerland opened, France opened, Germany, and now we have a situation where most of Western Europe is actually open for travel for Indians. Switzerland, France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Sweden, Croatia, Spain, Austria, so a lot of countries are open and people are traveling. Then something else that happened was UK opened their borders for Indians without quarantine. Okay. So about 3 months back they opened their borders saying Indians can travel if you are vaccinated, but we will need about 10 days of quarantine after you arrive into UK. About 3 weeks or 2 weeks back that has now been removed. So someone who's traveling to UK right now does not need any quarantine. They can go there and they can straight away visit their family or go for their sightseeing and take their holiday. About again 2 weeks back we also had news about USA and Canada opening. Around 20th of September is when this news came out. So both are open. Canada today flights are already operating. Okay, so from Delhi, again this is part of the air bubble right now. From Delhi there are flights operated by Air Canada and Air India from Delhi into Toronto and Vancouver. So that way Canada is right now completely open. People are traveling. People are holding a visa can already travel. Consulate is as of now yet to open their issuance of tourist visas because they are still clearing a lot of their backlog for other visas. But otherwise, Canada right now holding a visa, people can travel, and in about 2 weeks' time, we are hoping to see tourist visas also open up. USA, they have announced that from 8th of November, their borders will be open for a select set of countries, and India is one of them. So that is again one country where a lot of people, a lot of us have relatives and friends and family, and we want to travel. A lot of people have already been asking the Thomas Cook also, and I'm sure the same would be the case with the entire market about when travel is opening, when flights are operating. As of now, we are waiting for the final approvals and the final communication to be closed between the two governments. And once that is done, the airlines and the flights will start operating. They will announce their schedules, and then the US consulate is also told that once the communication comes through, then they will look at opening their offices for issuance of visas. So USA is just around the corner. 8th of November is the expected time by which they will open. So these are the countries that are already open. So from a tourism point of view, a lot of people have traveled also. Because I think what has happened is people have realized that COVID is here to stay for some time. People have also understood that we have to live with it, and how do we accommodate our lives and regular lives around it. So since the start of the pandemic, since end of March till end of September 2021, right? So in these 15 months, Thomas Cook alone, we have actually had about 50,000 guests who have traveled with us and had a holiday. So 50,000 people have traveled with Thomas Cook during the pandemic stage till 30th of September, which itself again shows that, and this is in spite of all the lockdowns and months when nothing was open. So this itself shows the extent to which people are right now ready to understand that they have to carry on, and they are actually happy to take their travel. From Thomas Cook's point of view, what we have done is we actually initiated a program called TravShield. Okay, so we launched this. As an industry leader, we felt that we also had to set the benchmark in a lot of ways about how to ensure travel is safe and convenient in the current environment. So TravShield is a program that has a lot of protocols around travel, where we ensure that every touch point that a customer will ever come in with is taken care. Starting from all of us here in this room, for example, are already double vaccinated. Every travel advisor of Thomas Cook who will ever interact with the customer is vaccinated. All our branches get sanitized on a weekly basis. We have borderless bookings. We also invested in technology, and a lot of our business also something that even within the system, within the organization also there's a lot of automation that we have done. From a bookings point of view, we also held a lot of virtual connects with our past customers and regular customers, and also on our social platforms. We had a lot of focus groups that we invested in, and people gave their inputs. Based on that, we have taken a lot of these measures which are part of TravShield. So, for example, we ensure that there are very minimum booking deposits for people to book their holiday, because people felt that this is especially not right now. Now things are still more stable, but back a few months back, people felt that there's a lot of uncertainty. Why should I pay so much and block it? And what if I don't get to travel or something happens? The growth has been exponential. So a Turkey or a Russia, for example, compared to the number of passengers who would have travelled in 2019, the growth has been exponential across the industry. Maldives likewise, the total percentage of Indians travelling as part of their overall inbound business into Maldives has really gone up. Overall travel point of view, Thomas Cook, I can give you the numbers. 2021, over the last 4 months, we have been growing broadly at around 60% month on month. Second is 2019 to 2021, because I'm just giving you data because 2020 broadly has been a bit of a washout. Right? So September data which we have handy, 2019 to 2021, domestic tourism, we have actually grown by about 3.2 times. So 320% is what we have done, 220% above last year, above 2019 is what we have done, domestic tourism. International tourism, we are at about 55% of what sales would have happened in 2019. This is in spite of the fact that in 2019 we had almost every destination open. So Australia and New Zealand is very big for Q4 travel. Europe used to be obviously very large. Southeast Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand used to be very big. In spite of all that, Thomas Cook 2019 versus 2021, with the limited destinations we have and the student movement that happened, we have managed to end September, for example, at 55% of what we did in 2019 September. Deal offer. Whereas the name implies, it's a crazy deal in the sense that you can actually go to Dubai at 30,000 rupees, including accommodation, transfers, basic sightseeing, and flights from Chennai. So, crazy deal offer again is exclusively for first-time travelers who today are just looking at, okay, can I look at taking a quick holiday which is very budget friendly. So we have crazy deal offers again across destinations, domestic and international, which are again, to be honest, these are very limited. So there will be some sort of compromise in terms of the date of travel, where if they want that deal, maybe that date they are looking at is already sold out for that pricing. They will have to pay slightly more, or they will have to go for a slightly different date. But that way, from an offer point of view, it is available, people are taking it. So it's a first come, first serve to a large extent for that best pricing and that best date. Otherwise, slightly more and people are actually happy with it. So crazy deal is the other one. And otherwise, we have a lot of regular offers which we also partner with. We partner with a lot of banks, for example, where we have cashback programs for customers. We also have a lot of giveaways that we do with our partnerships that we have across the world. And we also have very strong discounting right now, because we are able to get those deals from a lot of these places, because a lot of places today also want business, right? So we are actually able to get those deals and give it across as discounts to our customers also.